Hey everybody, Mobile Gamers Unite. So after the last video I did, my pre-review on Gizarof, I wanted to go back and kind of tweak a few things because my fundamental understanding on how this character plays was flawed, okay? I was misled by something that I saw over on the Chinese side. I did see a video with Gizarof having I saw multiple orbs of his in the battle. What I didn't realize is it was because he summoned one and then he died, and that's where the second one came from. So the first correction that I need to make, because I've ran this guy now, I've even taken him to a dragon fight, this guy's only going to be able to summon one of these little constructs at a time. And the construct stats are based off of his stats. So really work on this guy's intelligence, because the constructs that attack, they attack with a magic attack. They use their intelligence, but they have a decent intelligence. They can do some decent damage. So what you're going to want to do is, I don't care if you summon your construct first and then use your fusion, or use your fusion first to buff everybody's stats and then summon a construct. What you want to do is kind of, depending on what ability that construct has, they can have a 2-range attack, they can self-destruct when they die, they can heal 20% of their hit points at the end of every round, which is nice. So they can get a bunch of these crazy awesome buffs, right? And he's going to buff his construct every time he does damage to a unit. So I threw an AoE, I hit 2 units and did damage to them. The construct instantly got 2 buffs, which was really cool. So I did get to see how your little construct can become very powerful very quickly. So the smart thing to do is make a little orb and keep them off to the side for a little bit. Do some damage with Gizarof and get some of these crazy little buffs onto your construct, and then send him out there to attack units that only can retaliate 1 block, just to kind of be annoying, to get in the way. They can actually do some very nifty things. So I have not sacrificed Gizarof yet to summon, the construct that comes out when he dies. It's the same as the other construct, it just starts off with 2 buffs on it instead of 1. But the best way to go is to make your construct and then start damaging people to get buffs onto that construct. So yeah, there is no way to manipulate this where you're going to summon 20 of these things and have a horde of them. As cool as that would have been, it's not looking like that's how it works. So, but they are effective, okay? These guys aren't just some 1-hit point pawn. These guys can actually be pretty effective. You need to work on this guy's intelligence score. His intelligence and his magic defense, they are both an A stat. That is the highest stat that this guy gets. And his construct's stats are scaling off of his. Alright, so whatever his stats are at the time, that's what they're going to scale off of. So it's nice to have the fusion power up, because that's going to increase your intelligence, your magic defense, and all that good stuff. And your construct will have a higher stats. So I've already seen how they can be useful, and I've seen how this guy can do some very good damage. When you're using like Dark Dragon Breath, what you want to do is finish people off with it, right? Because when you get the kill, that is when Swan Song kicks in, and after killing an enemy, cooldown time of all skills is reduced by 1 round. When you die, the cooldown of all allied skills is reduced by 1. So here's the thing. And maybe I'm off on this, but what I noticed is when you kill somebody, it takes down the cooldown of the ability that you used. And maybe I'm mistaken on this. It does say right here that when you kill somebody, it takes down the cooldown of all skills. So yeah, maybe that is glitched. Maybe I saw it wrong. It would be much better if it took down the cooldown for everything. So, but I'm gonna be keeping an eye on that and still playing with that. I mean, it's kind of hard when you're running him and Basel and you're trying to mess with his constructs and you're trying to keep an eye on them and you're trying to keep an eye on how this fusion power works at the same time. So I have ran a few games, and you know, I just wanted to put this out there. He does play a little bit fundamentally differently than I thought. All right, and it's literally taken me all day just to kind of study this guy. He's only at 3,000 power, and I do want to get some of his other moves, but I have a pretty good idea of how he works here. A very interesting character. I wish he was on my main so he could have, you know, a really powerful build, but just off of what I'm seeing here, he's definitely awesome, and this fusion power, if you can get it to work for you, it is definitely awesome as well. So next I will be reviewing the healer from this banner, and he does deserve his own video. I will say this, for all the new players that started, he is a blessing. So anybody that didn't have an SSR healer, there's an SSR God tier healer right now up on a banner. And he's kind of like Lana, where he has these niche abilities that can be brought to any party. Any party can benefit from that guy's teleport, just like any party can benefit from Liana's act again. So they're similar in that way. But I had a guildie who's kind of new, and people were telling him to get Liana, and I asked him, hey, what fusion are you planning to run? And he said Yles, and I'm like, well, if you're gonna run Yles, then yeah, try to go for the Yles healer, because then when your Yles fusion is up, at least he's gonna get a bonus to his stats off that fusion, and he is gonna heal for more. But I did look over the healer. He is solid. We will go over him, and needless to say, my buddy did pull today for him. He's got him. He's very happy with him. He just helped him clear a dragon, and I can see why. You can go into a dragon's threat range, throw all your attacks, and he can literally teleport your whole party back to him. I do believe, as long as they're not at full health. But we'll look at that. That's another video. It's coming up soon. I want to definitely give that guy some justice because, well, he's a healer. Healers are God tier in this game. So, but I wanted to put the word out on Gizarof. He does work a little bit differently, but he's still awesome. And actually, I have to say, now that I see how you make his little constructs and power them up, they are a lot more powerful than I thought they could have been. The buffs that they get on them are just crazy. And the few times that I've used them, they're actually pretty durable. And if you can get that healing buff on them, yeah, it's pretty awesome. They can attack things, they can heal, they can sometimes attack things from 2 blocks away. All right, and the self-destruct thing, I think, is genius. It's great. If you get self-destruct on one of your constructs, what you can do is pretty much wait 3 or 4 turns until his cooldown for this construct ability is up, and then just go have your construct go commit suicide and hurt a bunch of people around him and potentially debuff them too, depending on which abilities you have on your construct. The next turn you can just make another one, and then all you got to do is damage some people. You don't even have to kill them, and your construct gets stronger. So can't wait to use this guy. He's definitely cool. He's got an A+ for me. He's original, he's different, and pretty happy with him as a summoner. So, but these are the changes that I found since the first time I played him. I do understand how he works better, and I'm happy. So happy I got this character. So if I've missed anything else, or if anybody wants to point anything else out, yeah, let me know. Leave a comment. But I'm gonna go start working on the other video on my main account, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.